Migraines and strokes actually carry a lot of the same symptoms, so if you suffer from regular migraines, you might notice that one day you're actually just dying. The founder of Match.com lost his girlfriend to a man that she met on Match.com. In the United States, roughly a third of all the food is just thrown away. Why?
Fun Facts Friday. Adult cats only meow at humans, not each other. Cocktails were invented so the Jews could hide the taste of dead animals in bootleg liquor. Red Lobster once lost $3 million during an endless crab promotion because they underestimated how much free crab people could eat. The term genuine leather refers to the lowest grade of leather products that can still be considered authentic. Avocados don't ripen on trees. They have to be picked first. If the world population of spiders worked together, they could theoretically eat every human on Earth in 1 year. 17% of AirPod owners say they wear them while having sex. Most people with chocolate allergies aren't actually allergic to chocolate, but the cockroach parts found in chocolate.
Fun facts until the Orbeez overflow. There's a such thing as black apples. A scientist found a 10,000-year-old piece of gum made of tree bark tar. The world record for folding a piece of paper in half the most times is only 12. If you were able to fold a piece of paper in half 42 times, the thickness would reach the moon. Not once in the Humpty Dumpty nursery rhyme does it ever mention that he's an egg. If you put your finger inside your ear and scratch, it sounds like Pac-Man. And it looks like I'm out of time. Follow for more fun facts.
Facts about the human body that will 100% trigger you. There could be mites having sex on your eyelashes right now and you would have no way of knowing. Most people think the brain feels like wet clay, but the human brain actually feels like melted butter. Without special chemicals, you wouldn't even be able to pick it up. The brain has no pain receptors, meaning it's possible for people to stay awake and talk to doctors while they're performing brain surgery on them. Men can actually produce milk. It's more common than you think. Most men are just too ashamed to admit it. And it can be triggered by starvation. Concentration camp survivors were given food after being starved for weeks, and for some reason, they started lactating. There's a kind of tumor that can cause teeth to grow in a woman's ovaries and a male's testicles. Since you have about 100 million bacterial cells in your body compared to 10 million human cells, you're actually more bacteria than human. Since you shed about 40,000 skin cells a day, the dust you see in your house actually used to be part of you. Which means every time you breathe in someone else's house, you could be inhaling thousands of somebody else's skin flakes. When you really think about it, we're all just 3-pound brains piloting meat bicycles we call bodies. You produce more earwax when you're stressed, and stress earwax smells way worse than the regular stuff.
Here are some facts I guarantee you didn't know that could legitimately save your life one day. So spare the next 60 seconds and listen the fuck up. Firstly, and not a lot of people know this, if you have a cut that gets infected anywhere on your body, you start to see a red streak going up from it, kind of resembling like a lightning bolt coming from your cut. Stop everything and go to the doctor immediately. This is a sign of a serious infection which could lead to sepsis. And if that gets bad, you could fucking die. Next up, you can actually perform the Heimlich maneuver on yourself. Think of how many times you eat by yourself. If you start choking, you need to know this. Make a fist with your dominant hand and place it just above the belly button area and cover it with the other hand. Shove your fists inwards and upwards into the upper part of your stomach. Then repeat this over and over. You can also lean over a chair to help with this process. If your eyes are ever white in a photo, not red eye, everyone gets that crap, I mean a white eye, see a doctor immediately because it could be signs of a serious infection which could leave you blind. If you think someone's having a stroke, ask them to place their tongue out. If their tongue starts leaning to one side, that could be an indication of a stroke. Finally, if someone offers you water and it smells like cinnamon, don't drink it. It could be poisoned. Elon!
Human body facts you are going to unfollow me for. If you decapitate someone, the disembodied head will be conscious for 15 to 20 seconds, long enough for them to realize what you did to them. If someone sneezes in your face, they're launching germs at you at 100 miles per hour. Coughs aren't that bad because they're only about 60 miles per hour. The acid in your stomach is strong enough to dissolve razor blades, which is why your stomach is in a constant battle to not digest itself, only being kept in check by mucus. If you force someone to stay awake without giving them any food, they'll die of lack of sleep before they die of starvation. Sometimes during brain surgery, they'll peel your face forward like a goddamn banana. Speaking of surgery, one of the first things a surgeon does is clean out the belly button because there can be 67 types of bacteria in there. If a woman's ligaments stretch and her muscles aren't strong enough, her uterus can straight up fall out of her. Eagles are your friend. Major trigger warning on this one. Every child's jaw is packed with teeth, which sounds normal until you realize this is what it looks like. Ain't that some shit? Sometimes when you have a runny nose, it isn't snot, it's actually cerebral fluid that the brain leaks to reduce pressure. The water you drink has probably been inside someone or something else.
Facts you were never taught that could save your life one day. Firstly, if you see a white spot on your banana like this, do not eat it. This could mean that there's a spider infestation. And if you even take a bite out of this banana, hundreds of venomous baby spiders could come out and they could even go in your mouth. Right next, if your drink ever smells like cinnamon, do not drink it. People use this as a way to cover up the scent of poison. Now, if you're ever out in the wilderness and you have nothing to eat, well, dandelions are actually fully edible from the root to the flower. Okay, if you ever take a picture with the flash on and see white on your pupil, go to the doctor. This could mean that something is very wrong, like a disease. Just to let you all know, cleaning your house is just as deadly as smoking because of the chemicals that you use. Finally, if an apocalypse ever happens, there's a monument in Georgia that shows how to rebuild society in 8 different languages. Share this to a friend to save their life one day.
Human body facts that will trigger you, part 3. When you breathe, most of the air goes in one nostril and comes out the other, and they switch roles every couple of hours, and you're checking right now, right? You're doing yeah, I see you. After you die, your body will begin digesting itself as enzymes eat through the cell membranes and leak out. The worst part about public hangings is that males will get a death erection called rigor erectus, meaning you wouldn't have to be Bruce Willis to die hard. If you rub the soles of your feet with garlic, you'll begin to taste it 30 minutes later. There's a compound in garlic that penetrates cell membranes, travels up the bloodstream, and reaches the taste buds, meaning you can taste garlic with your feet. You can exchange as many as 80 million bacteria in one 10-second kiss. And if you kiss your partner multiple times a day, you'll develop similar colonies of oral bacteria. Because we evolved to walk on 2 feet, the pelvis and birth canal of women got narrow, meaning they have to suffer one of the most painful births on the planet. Which is why in 1780, chainsaws were used to saw off part of the pelvic bone to make childbirth easier. Remember how I said there could be mites having an orgy on your eyelashes and you would never know? They don't have an anus. They just get bigger until they die, their bodies burst, and they release a lifetime of excrement. Are your eyelashes covered in poop? They might be.
Facts that make me uncomfy, part 3. Your skeleton is wet. Wasps can remember people's faces. Some species of octopus eat their own arms when they get bored. Ancient Romans used urine as mouthwash. Ew. A lion's tongue is so rough, it could lick your skin off. Red dye in candy is often made of crushed beetles. I've known that one for a while and still just haven't changed my behavior. When you ever jerk yourself awake, it's because your body thinks you're dead, so your brain is just checking to make sure you're still alive. I find that one very hard to believe, but I love it. Follow for more uncomfy shit.
Facts that could one day save your life. If a tornado looks like it's not moving, that means it's heading towards you. If you ever see square waves in the water, get out immediately. These waves have powerful currents under the water that can sweep you out and take you away. If someone falls into cold water or is close to hypothermia, don't put them next to a fire. They need to be warmed up slowly, otherwise it could be potentially fatal and they could experience something called afterdrop. And this is due to the fact that your blood flow cannot adapt quick enough to that change from extreme cold to extreme hot. If you ever get caught in a rip current, swim sideways. A rip current is a strong flow of water that moves directly away from the shore. And if you get caught in one and you try and swim straight in, it's just gonna keep pushing you back and you're gonna lose energy. So you need to swim sideways until you're out of it and then you can swim in.
Ocean facts that you may or may not believe, you're just gonna have to trust me. The most common cause of human death in the ocean isn't drowning, it's actually heart attack. The blue whale is the biggest thing ever spawned, but because they have a throat the size of a dinner plate, they eat krill. As filter feeders, they can take out disrespectful amounts of them at once. In fact, they can swallow 1 million calories in one mouthful. Because I am who I am, that is 811 Big Macs. Thanks to echolocation, dolphins have close to X-ray vision that they use to see inside the bodies of other dolphins or whatever humans are underwater with them. Which is why scientists believe they have an interest in pregnant women because they can see the fetus inside them. The most poisonous thing in the ocean is the pufferfish, not only because tetrodotoxin is an instant RIP, the amount needed to put you in a coffin could fit on a pinhead. Some have a poison that is 1,200 times more of a death sentence than cyanide. Approximately half of US territory is actually underwater. The blue whale has the largest penis on the planet, and the largest Moby Dick ever found was about 16 feet long. But relative to body size, the animal packing the absolute most is the barnacle, because their equipment can stretch to 8 times their own body length, which is probably why SpongeBob used it as a curse word.
Did you know that in Princess Diaries, in this scene, Anne Hathaway actually accidentally slipped on a puddle of water and fell between the bleachers? Mid-scene, she remembered she was supposed to be moving fast, so she turned around quick, slipped, and fell. Here's what she had to say about the scene.
Just absolutely fell and burst out laughing and kept going with the scene. Never thought about it again. And all of a sudden, like 6 months later, it's in the trailer. He kept it. He kept it because it was a charming moment.
Facts that one day could save your life. If you're ever at the beach and you see the water receding or far away from where it normally is, run. This normally means a tsunami is coming, and someone who paid attention in school in 2004 used this and saved their own life by getting out of there. If your car ever goes into water, open a window or door immediately. If you don't do this, the pressure differential is too great and it'll keep everything shut, and you'll have to wait until your car is completely filled with water in order to get out. If you ever find yourself buried in rubble and can't get out, don't yell. You'll end up just wasting energy and losing your voice. What you should do is grab something and start tapping in intervals of 3. Humans are great at noticing patterns, and the rescuers will start to move towards that, and once you hear them, then you can start yelling. If you're ever walking back to your car and you see something like a dollar bill or something on it, don't touch it. This is a common method for kidnapping where while you're going to grab that, they'll come up and grab you. So do not grab it, just drive. And the most common with this is t-shirts around a mirror or a dollar bill.
Did you know that Now You See Me in this scene, Isla Fisher was actually drowning? She was trying to signal for help, but everyone in the scene just thought she was acting. And while there was a safety button in place to help drain all the water, she couldn't reach it because her chains kept getting tangled. Finally, they stopped the take and she was okay, but she ended up being underwater for 3 minutes.
I was banging and saying, you know, set me free, but everyone just thought I was doing fabulous acting. They thought I was being Meryl Streep in the tank. Actually, I was drowning.
Yeah.
All I was thinking about was me on the autopsy table, bloated in a swimming costume with heels, and how humiliating that would be.
Here are 7 mind-boggling facts I can guarantee you didn't know. And if you did, I'll give you a cookie. First up, Facebook's like button was going to be called the awesome button. Because the Statue of Liberty is made of copper, when it was first constructed, it used to be the color of a coin. Basically this. However, due to oxidation in 1920, it turned completely green and stayed it. The Eiffel Tower was originally intended to be in Barcelona. However, because the people of Barcelona didn't like the project idea, they moved it to France. I know I've said it before, but just because I love this fact so much, all blue-eyed people are related, sharing one common ancestor known as the founder. Up next, you know the stickers that are placed on fruit? Well, it turns out these stickers are actually edible. Cool. Why? The United Kingdom has more tornadoes per area than any other country in the world. Cool fact, but since when? And this last one might hurt your brain. 1 glass of water has more atoms in it than there are glasses of water in all of the oceans of the earth. My brain. Elon!
This is the cochineal beetle. When you take cochineal beetles and boil them, dry them, and grind them up, you get something called carmine, which is used as a food dye, and you've probably eaten it more than any other bug ever. I'm talking about Skittles, ketchup, yogurt, meat, red lipstick, and your strawberry-flavored Starbucks drinks. Pretty much any food or product that uses a red dye is red from the blood of the cochineal beetle. I'm uncomfy.
Here are some facts that you were never taught that could legitimately save your life one day. So listen the fuck up! If there is a random smell of fish in your house, when you haven't had fish, obviously, how do I put this? Get the fuck out! Because this is most likely a sign of an electrical fire. If someone you know is having a heart attack and you need to give them aspirin, make sure they chew it before they swallow it, because it makes it work faster. If you are outside or high up or whatever, and you not only hear a crunchy crickling noise in the sky, also your hair starts to randomly stand up like it's static, you need to run. Because you, my friend, are about to get struck by lightning. If you are in the pool and the pool water starts tasting metallic, first piece of advice, stop drinking pool water. Second, get the fuck out because there's most likely an electrical short somewhere in the water. Finally, baths are the best place to hide during a tornado. So grab your rubber ducky and wait it out. Let's make a deal. If you didn't know any of these, you have to share it, and all with me now. Elon!
Whatever picture you see first reveals what kind of person you are, part 17. Up first is this photo. If you see a man running through the snow, it means that you are a very active person. But whenever you try to make plans, nobody ever wants to do anything. Also, you're not the biggest fan of conflict, and you're the one that stops situations from escalating. But if you saw a dog running in the snow, it means that you are very shy, but once somebody gets to know you, you're actually a very fun and outgoing person. Next up is this picture. If you see a cat, it means that you overthink everything, which sometimes results in you canceling plans. But if you saw a mouse, it means that you're very nice, but you also have a mean side. And you love driving around and listening to music.